Well, let's start with a noon game here. It is 3-0 Auburn at 2-1 Texas A&M. Current line, this game is at noon Eastern time on ESPN. Current line 7.5 in favor of Texas A&M. Total 51.5. So taking a look at this game, I looked at a couple different angles. Auburn as a program has played at Texas A&M 5 times since they've been in the SEC. 1-4 against the spread.
What are they on the road though?
I don't know. You should tell me that.
4-1.
Ooh,
spicy.
But specifically at A&M, 1-4
against the spread.
Yeah, against the spread. Hugh Freeze has won both his matchups at Kyle Field when he was at Ole Miss. So there's something to be said for that potentially. A&M is 1-7 straight up and 2-6 against the spread in their last 8 games against Power 5 opponents. 1-7 straight up against Power 5 opponents in their last 8 games.
Yikes.
That's almost unfathomable.
It is.
For a guy that makes $10 million a year, whatever it is.
Yeah.
Something I don't like for A&M here, 115th in the country in penalties per game.
This is year what of Jimbo at A&M? Year 6?
6, I think. Yeah.
Dude, what are we doing? Like, what are we doing right now?
Yeah. It's just, I don't know, man. It's just a sign of a poorly coached and undisciplined team. I will say they have righted things on offense considerably. I wouldn't say the opponents that they've played outside of Miami have been strong. So I'm not going to pass any judgment yet on the offense, but the defense has been pretty bad, especially against explosive plays. Auburn's pass game has been pretty brutal, I will say, but they're 103rd in passing success rate, but they're 3rd in rushing success rate.
Ooh.
So I like Auburn to have some success on the ground here. They have done pretty well against the pass this year as well. I'm taking the matchup I'm looking at is Hugh Freeze's offensive prowess versus DJ Durkin, who I do not think is a good coach
or person.
I'll take A&M because it's at home and Auburn doesn't have a great. I don't know. They don't play great in Kyle Field, but I'm going to take Auburn to cover this game. My score prediction is A&M 27, Auburn 23.
Okay, again, Auburn has won 4 of their 5 trips to A&M.
True. I was against the spread.
Okay. So here's what I think. I think Connor Wegman, 2nd overall QBR in the country. 2nd overall QBR in the country, leads the SEC in QBR, has been phenomenal. 10 total touchdowns, 2 interceptions. The dude has been legit. He gets Evan Stewart back this week. Auburn loses a defensive back for the entire season. They got one of the better linebackers in the country. The kid's been playing out of his mind. I'm an idiot, and I've forgotten his name right now because I'm all jacked up on Celsius and Mountain Dew. But Auburn going to Kyle Field, this is what I'm most interested to see in this game. And that is, I think that this is a tougher and more stressful game for Jimbo than the Miami game. And I think Miami might mean more in like the big picture, and I think they're ranked now. And obviously the two logos on those helmets and all that kind of stuff. That's a big game, and you fell on your face and all that kind of stuff. However, there's still positives to take away from that, right? And you also got to do it kind of like in a stadium where nobody was around to really watch it. You had a rain delay. You had a couple of things. I don't know, like people like
no one's ever at Miami games anyways.
Exactly. And now you got to come home to like 105 to 107,000 A&M fans that like are a little bit uneasy because they expected to be 3-0 here to start this game or to start this season. And you're supposed to win. You're a 7.5 point favorite at home against Auburn, but you just said it. They're 1-7 against the spread. That's terrible. That's terrible. I mean, sorry, 1-7 straight up against Power 5 opponents in the last 8 games. That's awful. What I'm most interested to see is if things get to the fourth quarter, it's like, because if you're Auburn, the whole thing you're trying to do here is you're just trying to get to the fourth quarter and keep it close so you have a chance to win. Peyton Thorne put up some great numbers kind of last week, right? He had 3 touchdowns, still had 2 interceptions, but he put up over 400 yards of offense, had over 100 yards on the ground and 200 yards passing. This offense has been able to do some things. The sample size of them being on the road is not just small. It's only 1 game, right? In Cal, they looked awful. This defense has not played very well, which has been surprising. It's been very, very surprising for A&M.
If this game goes to talent and probably in the country as far as high school rating, I mean, maybe along the D line more than Georgia.
It's on the D line. It's better than anyone in the country.
Yeah,
for sure. For sure. And that's why it's been so surprising. But you go into this game, and what I'm interested to see is if it goes to the fourth and it's a close game, is Jimbo going to stay with what he said he was going to do and let Bobby Petrino call the plays? Or is he going to panic? And you're already shaking your head, and that's I'm like, now listen, I know you hate Jimbo and all that kind of stuff for a number of reasons as a Florida State guy. But I don't think you're wrong here because he's done nothing to gain our trust from a standpoint of oh yeah, he'll probably do what's right. He'll do what's best for the team here because he's never done that. He's never gotten out of his own way because he thinks his way is best. I got A&M to win. I think the best bet in this game is the over at 51.5. They weren't even close to that a year ago. This is the Cadillac game that was awesome on so many different levels. I've got A&M to win, and I've got the over. I think A&M wins. I'm going to say 33-28.